Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruples that took place on the 13th of November 2022. May the four victims rest in peace, condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. Today I'd like to talk a bit about the surviving roommates. DM and BF. In the beginning of this case, we were told that both the surviving roommates slept in the first floor. They would say that BF slept in her room, I believe that's 1A, and DM slept in 2B. We were told that the surviving roommates did not hear anything. They slept through this whole incident. To start with, I'm sure we all are thankful that the surviving roommates survived. That's the most important thing. We don't need more victims. We just want the correct justice to be served for all the four victims, and we want the correct person to be arrested. Maybe they have the correct person. Maybe it's BK, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's BK and other people involved, like I have always believed. Or maybe BK is totally innocent. So, for that all to come out in trial, there's always one question that remains. That cannot be avoided, no matter how you look at this case, no matter from which side you look at this case, no matter whether we agree or disagree about things in this case. I believe 80% of people, the public in the world who've tuned into this case, or 85%, have always the same question. Nobody wants to be negative. Nobody wants to be accusing a victim. But the question always remains, if you want the correct justice, where was BF? Where was DM that night? It was said that everyone came home at 1:45 a.m. It was said that DM and BF came home first, before 1 a.m. If they came home 1 a.m. and it was said that they slept, and then the other four victims came home. If they slept, how would they know what time the other four victims got home? The police in the beginning did not even know the correct time when Kaylee and Maddie got home. It was Kaylee's older sister, may God bless her for that, who found out all the information, found out that there was a camera at the grub shop. She found out her sister and Maddie, who's part of a family, reached home at 1:56. Remember that. Then we have Vito saying out on TikTok in his statements or whatever, question and answers, Q&As, I believe, this man clearly said that he had to contact the police and tell him that he remembered seeing the girls last. But the police wasn't interested in contacting him. He said he ended up going to the police to give out his statements. So now we have two people who have given out the information to the police. Nothing was done much about it. We have Eaton is friend saying to his mother that at 2:10 to 2:10 to 2:15 a.m. in the morning, that horrific night, he sent a message to his friend saying he was at the Sigma Chi, that he was on his way home. So the question is, did he and Xana ever make it home? Could they have been confronted, harassed, assaulted, attacked, whatever, on the way home? I've said this so many times that I could stuck record, but I need to keep on reminding you all that, and that is very important. The press conferences. Chief Fry clearly told the ABC reporter the surviving roommates are now witnesses. He said they were just there. Then all of a sudden, after 7 weeks, the affidavit comes out, and now the surviving roommates are no longer just there. They're actually witnesses. What changed? What changed so drastically that they even had to change the timelines? Make this make sense. Where was the couple that night? He took his sister, his triplet, Maisie, as a date to the Betty Blue ball. The Betty ball. And his triplet, Hunter, took Maisie, their sister's roommate, as his date. There were many other fraternities and sororities there. There's a lot of pictures of that on social media. But nobody has seen pictures of E and Xana. I'm talking about from the time between 9 to 1:45. Nobody's heard of them. I'm sure there are people in the university, in the college, who knew their whereabouts, knew what was going on, but everyone was told to keep quiet unless they wanted a taste of the medicine too. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is not facts. This is my speculations through thorough research for a year and a half. I refuse personally to believe that the surviving roommates are victims. This is my personal opinion. Yes, they're victims because they were caught up in a tragic incident. Let me correct my words. I refuse to believe that they're completely innocent. Whether they were told by any organization or by whoever was involved to keep quiet, unless that was the case, I believe they knew exactly what was going on. I always believed from the beginning up to now that there was an insider. One or two people working inside the house. I believe this house was bugged. I believe it was taped so well that everything they did, all the roommates, surviving roommates, Murphy the dog, everything they did, everything they said who came to visit them, I think, was already being seen. And that's how I believe the suspects or the suspect, whoever did these horrific crimes, was part of the people who bugged this house. So he knew exactly what time to come. Because if he did not know, he couldn't have just taken a chance. Let's not forget, this house was a party revenue. So why would he just take a random chance and come inside a house that has 5 people physically present and a dog? I personally believe it's somebody who knew either one or all the 4 victims, or knew the surviving roommates. This was pre-planned. I've always said that. I don't believe this was a SK. This was no Ted Bundy, although Brian could be involved for his own fantasies. If he's involved. Because I never ever look away from certain things. I love to balance everyone and everything and check. And when I look at Brian, Christopher Kohlberger, I always think about he had one of the best professors who deals with serial killers. Catherine Ramsey. Now that woman was his professor, and she's written books on SKs. Of the B2K and Dharma. So was BK maybe trying to impress his professor by showing her, not only am I one of the best students or one of your favorite students who answers all the questions right, in fact, I'll show you how you can be a SK and get away with it. Maybe he liked his professor so much that he thought, I'm saying just in case BK is involved, maybe he wanted her to write a book about him. I wouldn't say that it's far-fetched that BK is involved. I believe he's involved. The question is where, when, how is the question. In counseling, we always look at people's, in therapy, especially as a cognitive behavior therapist, you look at people's patterns, their behavior patterns, the thought process, how they usually do things, what is normal, what is abnormal of them to do. And in counseling, we don't believe it's right to judge anyone. Looks can be deceiving. I've noticed many people are more caught up in how BK looks, the stare he gives. Yes, he does have a stare. Yes, he could be suffering of any mental illness. Yes, he could be completely fine and be suffering of only OCD, but we don't know. But it's just that people are so occupied about how he stares, which is something you can't avoid because eyes is the first thing you see of a human being. But people are not so occupied about the fact that this man has no criminal record. This man hasn't harmed a fly before. So obviously, there's a question, curiosity. Why would someone just go Breaking Bad? Why would someone just do that? For no reason. And then it goes back to how the person thinks, how the person takes heartbreaks, how the person takes relationship failure, how the person, his confidences. So I just wonder, with BK struggling with all that weight, losing weight, being bullied for that, starting one of the most heaviest A drugs, and then, good for him, he got out of it, which is a miracle. That just shows he's a person who's very, what's it called? He looks like a person, if he is motivated in something, he does it to the fullest. He wanted to lose weight, he lost weight. And like, when we hear about such things like, oh, he was being bullied and now he lost weight in school, so he turned out to be the opposite and he started bullying people because he was bullied. I don't believe in all of that. You know why? Because none of us know Brian Christopher Coburn. We don't know if he was alone or if he had friends. But at least one positive thing that we've heard in the beginning is that when BK was a security guard, there was a woman in her 50s who was literally having an asthma fit and she couldn't breathe. And she needed first aid. And BK was the security guard who was there who helped her, revived her, kind of saved her life. So when you think about that, he looks like, if you look at it at that manner, he looks like he's a person who's a fantastic citizen who has empathy, who's trying to help somebody, a mother, a woman, a wife, whatever, a human being, to catch her breath until 911 came. We haven't heard of BK have ever been involved in gangs, in fights, in weird behaviors. No, we haven't heard that. Besides some people, random people who could be anyone, like do you remember, I think was it his dad's brother, his wife, his dad, his sister-in-law who lives in Las Vegas, said that she knows him and that he was always alone as a boy and such things, and he was a weirdo and used to eat out of special pans only. And if you remember that, I'm sure that's where Howard Bloom got his intelligence and his ideas from. But that isn't a direct relative. That is, BK is not even direct aunt. That's not his father or mother, sister. That is an in-law. And anyone could say anything once a case is high profile. We've seen people, they would do anything just to be on the news. That's the truth. Some people, that's another mental health illness. Some people are just attention seekers and then they can become narcissistic. So let me come back to my train of thought. I move from here and there, but we're actually in the pattern. Actually, we're in the same thought pattern. Hopefully, I hope we're in the same thought pattern, or I hope you're in the same thought pattern as where I'm going through with this presentation, or not even presentation, or of me just sharing my thoughts about the surviving roommates. They were supposed to be there at home from 1 o'clock. So how would they know when the surviving roommates came home at 1:45? But yet again, let's not forget, our friend, BF, would definitely know more than DM. Besides DM being made the witness, I believe by the police or whatsoever, others they would have said that long time ago from the beginning. But I'll tell you what's interesting with BF is when Brian Christopher Koberger said from the beginning, BF has materials that can exonerate me. That is clearly either one of the two. Either he's trying a strategy just to waste time and just for argument's sake and all that, that's just a lawyer's tragedy. Or maybe it's true, because let's not forget, BF was one of the people who were at the Sigma Chi or Sigma Chi fraternity party. So what did she see? What did she witness? One of the Davids was high on roids. There was a fight allegedly that happened there between the Davids, Xana, and E. Pay attention to how focused the police were from the beginning. Moscow, Idaho police was interested about Xana and E, not Kaylee and Maddie. And when I say that I believe all four, or at least three of them, were targets, it's easy to prove. We have Jack Showalter telling Maddie. Clearly he made Maddie, he passed out a threat to Maddie. He said, they're going to get you for that, Maddie. And then you could see our friend Katie saying, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? She said, I told Adam like everything. So whatever was told to Adam made Kaylee and Maddie targets. I always believe that Kaylee was one of the main targets because Kaylee had a stock. The police are just trying to... They thought that we would forget that we would demolish that out of our head, just like they demolished the house. Not the important thing. Why would they demolish a house? Look at the Murdoch's case. The jury went and witnessed the scene. They went and they witnessed the place that it happened, because you need to see. What can you see? What can you hear from the first floor to the third floor? Who donates a house that worth $500,000 to a college, to a university? I believe there was a lot of dodgy business going on, and I won't be surprised if the university is involved. University knows exactly what was going on, because they're letting these students party day and night. I remember there's a woman who said, one of the neighbors, that I don't think she was a student, she was one of the neighbors, regular public who lived there. She said that it was so loud, the music and the party. Like, it was so annoying for her that she had to go to work, so she had to sleep with the headsets on. And then we have the taxi driver, local taxi driver, saying that this was a place he used to drive people so that they could purchase rugs. So what was actually going on in that house? I believe they're covering up this story. They're trying to keep it in Later County because they don't want maybe the other counties to go too deep in, and then the university. Like, there's no one to protect the university, because I believe right now the prosecutor's office, the judge, everyone there is, although there's freedom of speech and justice, they want it all to be wrapped up and done in their city so that they can hide up all the dirty secrets of the college. That's my personal opinion. But hopefully a lot will be exposed in this case. Definitely. I really believe a lot will be exposed. It's going to take time, maybe a couple of years to get there, because this doesn't make sense. Brian Christopher Koberger couldn't have gone and done this crime within what, 15 minutes? or 10, 12 minutes. No blood trail, nothing. His car had no evidence. He saw the 4 figures running. He saw the black truck driving down Taylor Avenue. What was going on? So was the surviving roommates part of the inside job? Were the inside informers? Is my question. Please like, share, and subscribe. Guys, please subscribe to my second channel. That's the one I'm trying to build up. I'm trying to move more to that channel. It's called Psychology and Crime. The link will be in the community channel. Have a lovely weekend.